Welcome to Breakthrough with Champs. I have today Manoj Vasudevan, and he's the 2017 World Champion of Public Speaking. Welcome, Manoj.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so here we were actually in Chicago, and just in a few hours, there will be 2018 World Championship happening right here.
That's right.
So you're back exactly a year after winning your title.
That's
How
right.
do you feel?
I'm feeling great. So this year I spent a lot of time helping other contestants to compete. So it was a very fulfilling experience to actually give back and work with the guys who are struggling. And the good thing is I don't have to compete. So no stress. So I'm just really enjoying my time.
Right. So what are you looking forward to at today's World Championship?
So I have helped a number of finalists this year, those who reached the final. And I think they all have great speeches. So looking forward to hear some good speeches and how they deliver it. Curious to know what they come up with. And I think it's going to be a great contest.
Yeah, so it brings back the memory.
Oh, it does bring back my memories because usually when I compete, I don't get time to enjoy the convention.
Right.
Because I'm so focused on competing. This time I had all the time. All I'm doing is meeting new people and helping the contestants rehearse. They come and rehearse in front of me, and I say, I don't have to compete.
Right.
That's a good feeling, yes.
Yeah. So they have one day in between semi-final and
so
final.
This year is better. So they got 2 days. So there's a Thursday is the semi-finals. The finals is on Saturday. So they got a 1 day, 2 days, one full day. When I competed, the semi-final was Thursday night and the finals was on Friday night.
Oh, wow.
So it was tough.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's
so what did you do on the day off?
So
When
I realized,
massage.
no, yeah, what I did, I did go massage week before, but on that day, so I slept. Friday, I tried to catch up as much sleep as I could because most people couldn't get sleep because it was really short window, as you can imagine.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So you also competed in 2015 World Championship, and you came in third place.
That's right.
And usually most of the people would be comfortable there, but you didn't stop there.
That's right.
And you kept competing. What was your motivation?
Oh, my motivation was I started out to become the world champion. And 2015, I thought I would become the world champion. I didn't. I was shocked actually. So when I came third, I was like thinking, so I'm pretty much doing some unfinished business to come back and do it again. And also if I had stopped at world number 3, people would have thought like, oh, you gave up. So because I've always been saying I wanted to be the world champion. So I thought maybe it's like also to be inspiration for my students as well. Not to be seen as someone who gave up. So I just went back one more time.
Oh wow, great. And you did it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So here's one question I've been really wanting to ask you.
Sure.
In 2015 and 2017, you used the same material. And I think that's a very...
The correct answer is similar. It's not exactly the same.
Right. It was rewritten. But it was the same
topic,
story. Same topic, same story, but the different titles and different script. Some people may avoid using the same material. I think you're very brave about that. Why did you decide to use the same material?
Okay, there are a few things. In 2017, I wrote like 6 speeches. Then I took feedback, but then at the end, I had all the speeches right lying in front of me, and I thought, if I had the opportunity to speak to the world, what is the message more relevant? And that was the message.
Okay.
Because that was the time in the world, there were a lot of things happening. People are like having a lot of conflicts and issues. And I said, that's the speech I want to be remembered for. So you see, winning the contest is definitely an ambition and a goal. But I also see it's also a unique opportunity to leave an imprint in the world, right? And so I had to choose that speech. And as I spoke, I realized how relevant was that for the audience. And then I said, oh, that's the speech I should go with. I was not really worried about what will people think, but that's the message I wanted to deliver.
Okay, so that was the message for you.
Yeah. And actually, none of my mentors stopped me from doing that.
Okay.
Because that's the message I wanted to deliver. Because I had all the options. It's not that I didn't do any hard work. I did hard work, writing different speeches, but that was not up to the standard of this. And why would I go with an inferior speech when I had a superior speech in that topic?
Exactly. You know, when you gave the speech in 2015, I'm sure you polished it to the max, and you made it even better. what was the difference? What did you do differently between 2015 and 17?
Okay. So I always say there are three milestones in public speaking. The first milestone is me, when you're focused on you. And that's where the fear is the maximum. And the second milestone is message. That means you want to say something nobody has said before,
Right.
or something unique. The third level stage is when you are really transcend to another level, that you really become a great speaker who can inspire anybody. Is the third stage milestone. I call it messenger. So me, message, and messenger. Right. So being a messenger, you're not worried about yourself. You're seeing fully what's the benefit for the audience. Right. So I think in 2015 I didn't get enough time to really polish the speech fully. Because it was at a short window. I really crafted the speech, but at that time I was more focused on humor.
Oh.
Right? I just want to see whether the audience can respond to me, whether I can engage them. But then I kind of forgot about my role as a messenger. Right? So when I came to 2017, by that time I realized humor. Well, all contestants say, "Oh, how can you help me make my speech funny?" Right? But I realized humor is a weak hook. It's just a hook. Right? It's a hook, but it's a weak hook. Emotion is more powerful. So what I did is took the speech, removed all the humor, and I focused more on emotionally connecting with the audience.
Oh, interesting.
And I did a lot of research, a lot of effort into making it. So some guys are writing books about the speech now because they realize the amount of. Initially, people look at it, especially within Toastmasters, people say, "Oh, you have used the same speech." Actually, it's not the same speech. 45% of the script is different. The humor is different.
Right,
In many
right.
there are
Yeah,
some similar
you
jokes.
took out the hair and George Clooney.
Yeah, then I have actually humor. So
Yeah.
I didn't realize the impact of that after the speech. The next day we had the debrief with all the other champs. One of the previous world champ, he said, as he was sitting in the audience, he could see when I did pull less, bend more, audience was doing with me, even though I didn't ask them to do. So there was this emotional connection. That got me. Those were some reasons for me to do that. That's what then I realized. I didn't realize the impact as I spoke. He said several people did that. Ed Tate is the one who told me. He's a 2001 world champion. He said, "Manoj, I can't believe it. They're all doing this." So that's the power of emotional connection.
Right.
And then after that, of course, people, now in 2018, now I am in the convention. A lot of people came to me and said, "Oh, I watched this speech a million times. It was so powerful." I mean, these are Toastmasters and known Toastmasters.
Right.
So then I realized I delivered my role as a messenger because it was gone beyond my wildest dreams.
Yeah, and I totally agree about finding the message because we both know Craig Valentine very well, and we hear his speech so many times, the same story over and over, and I still get, it doesn't get old. It's always fresh.
It's all relevant. So actually, it was very good point you mentioned, because when you mentioned the impact on the speech, I also realized that by me sharing that message, a lot of people have benefited. A number of people came to me and said, "Manoj, I wish I heard it last year before I divorced. Or wish me and my husband, we watch it all the time."
Right.
So they have very different practical application.
Yeah.
And which I may not have envisaged also. There are a lot of people around the world. So another different 2015, 2017, the 17 speech is more universal. So more people came to me. 2015 was viral enough, but 2017 was, so 2015 speech, what happened is very humorous.
Right.
People actually downloaded and shared widely on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So around 2015, many places I travel, strangers will come up to me and say, not Toastmasters, come and say, "Do I download your speech?"
Oh.
Yes, so but 2017, it became even more universal.
Right.
Because I tried to make it more universal.
Yeah.
Because it's actually not only referring to human relationships, the husband and wife, spouse. It's also talking about politics.
Right.
It's also talking about national conflict.
Right.
So indirectly.
Yeah.
So then I thought, oh, that's the effort I put in to make that
Right.
relevant.
Right, great. So, I just mentioned Craig Valentine, but we were both world-class speaking coaches trained by Craig Valentine. So now you coach speakers.
No, my focus is on next level leadership readiness.
Okay.
So I have written a book called Mastering Leadership the Mousetrap Way. So Mastering Leadership Mousetrap Way is about how ordinary people can become leaders. And I was fortunate enough that book was endorsed by the #1 leadership thinker in the world. He says this is the way you can become a leader.
Right,
So I was quite fortunate for them. So my focus was actually based on my life story, was helping people to get to the next level in their career. So identity is next level leadership readiness expert, and under that I teach public speaking being one of the skills.
Okay.
So I teach connect, communicate, network, lead, and sell. Public speaking one because of since you're a speaker as well, the speaking is a marketing tool.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So sometimes help leaders to market themselves, brand themselves with speaking.
Yeah, it's a must have skill.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then the coaching skills wise, I think I also over the years became more. So even when I coach, somebody comes with a speech to coach them, I don't force them to be me.
Right.
That's a realization because sometimes I'm giving feedback from my perspective. I start asking more questions. What do you want? So even then, the finalists, the contestants that come competing, they came to me yesterday and day before. Manoj, what should I do? What should I do? Right?
Yeah.
And they were asking me to edit their speech, and I started asking them. So what would you say here?
Right.
So then that becomes their speech.
Yeah.
So otherwise everybody starts speaking like their coach.
Right.
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 So
you can't pretend.
Pretend, yes.
You have to be authentic.
Yes,
And it
you're
has
right.
to come from you. And
You are
your
right.
emotion, your own words.
That's
you have to
right.
own it.
That's right.
Yeah. So for next generation leaders, what advice can you give them as to, let's say, what are the typical mistakes they could make to try to become a next leader?
Okay, so the key thing around the public speaking topic is, I said, the three things: mindset, message, and mechanics. So mindset is most people do not realize the power of public speaking. It's a unique way to connect to a large audience in the shortest possible time. If you are a master of a content, you need to be able to communicate to more people, and public speaking provides the amazing platform to get it to a wider audience. But most people do not realize the power of speaking still, because of mindset, maybe because of fear, maybe because they're not aware of they are aware that this is a skill they can pick up. They're not aware they can be a fabulous speaker. I said I believe anyone can be a fabulous speaker, no matter where they start, as long as they can speak. Okay, so if they can speak, they can be a speaker, and with the right techniques. So the message is you need of something to speak about.
Right.
So knowing what you want to speak about, even in organizations, people have content, but they don't have the confidence to communicate.
Right.
That's a key thing. Then comes the mechanics. Oh, how do you do it, right?
Right.
So I always believe that's the key thing. Leaders need to know having the right mindset, having something to speak about, and then the mechanics.
Okay.
And all these can be mastered.
Okay. So mindset, message, and
And
mechanics.
mechanics.
3 M's.
Yes.
All right. So remember the 3 M's.
All right.
All right. Well, you gave me a lot of great insights. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And keep watching. I'll be interviewing more champs.